6 weeks after this mother gave birth, doctors found another baby in her womb who had not been born and was fatal. For new mother Leanne Crowley, the birth of her son should have been a moment of joy. But her pregnancy and the few weeks after the birth were full of unexpected trauma. She learned that the consequences of carrying an unborn child in her womb could be fatal. Crowley, a 38-year-old housewife from the UK, gave birth to her son Louis on December 2, 2016. However, the moment she gave birth to her baby, she could not experience the happiness of other mothers, because according to the British newspaper The Sun in April 2018, Louis's skin was grey and he was born dead. Doctors removed the baby, ran tests on it and realized that it had lost a lot of blood while in the womb. According to an article published in April 2018, Crowley said, "Doctors don't know exactly what happened. They think the baby lost blood while in my belly. We didn't realize this at the time." After this trauma, the newborn baby was struggling to survive. That's why he stayed in the hospital for another 3 weeks. During this time, Louis's organs started to stop functioning because he had lost so much blood, so the child was put on life support. Doctors placed the newborn in a medically induced coma and revived him with donated blood. But there was no end to Louis's problems. When Louis had recovered enough, his mother brought him home from the hospital 2 days later. But this time Crowley himself was losing too much blood. When she went back to the hospital, the doctors thought they knew why she was bleeding. They surgically removed what they thought was Louis's placenta, which remained in her abdomen. In an interview with the Sun newspaper, Crowley said it was a terrible experience. Unfortunately, Crowley was unaware that the operation would do her no good. Instead of getting better, the woman continued to bleed for another 2 weeks. As a result, she was taken back to the hospital. When the doctors took her back into surgery, they found the real cause of Crowley's troubles. Crowley was suffering from a molar pregnancy. A molar pregnancy occurs when abnormal cells implant in the uterus. This process results in a lifeless embryo. This growth in Crowley's womb was determined to be Louis's twin and grew to the size of a 12-week-old fetus. The occurrence of this event demonstrated that it was a miracle that Louis was even born. In most cases of molar pregnancy, the abnormal fetus consumes the other fetus. But despite going for routine ultrasounds and paying attention to the baby's health, Crowley didn't know she was having twins. "The doctors didn't know I had 2 babies inside me," she told the Sun newspaper. "The only baby on the screen was Louis. But it turned out that Louis had been hiding the other fetus all along." As a result, the doctors surgically removed the abnormal fetus. After the operation, they asked me if I wanted a funeral or any kind of ceremony for the fetus. The shock of learning that she had twins and that one of her babies had nearly killed the other didn't mean Crowley's story was over. She had one final side effect of molar pregnancy to face. About 15% of women who go through pregnancy develop a form of cancer caused by abnormal cells called choriocarcinoma. Crowley learned that not only did she have cancer, but that it had spread to her lungs. As a result of Crowley's diagnosis, doctors started treatment immediately. Otherwise, the cancer cells would spread throughout the body. They said they didn't want the cancer to reach my brain. That's why I started chemotherapy that very night. In an interview with the Daily Mirror newspaper, from that moment on, the mother had to undergo a total of 15 hours of chemotherapy and 20 blood transfusions a week. Crowley lost all her hair during these procedures. She said the experience was terrifying and a constant reminder that she had cancer. During her treatment, Crowley also fought and survived a blood clot that traveled to one of her lungs. This in itself is rarer than cancer. The mother kept fighting, and by September 2017 she was cancer-free. Even after surviving cancer, Crowley struggled to regain her health as she underwent intensive treatment. According to the Daily Mirror, Crowley's family also suffered a lot. "The whole thing almost destroyed us all. But I had a lot of support from my family and friends." Crowley also set up an online donation site. He hoped loved ones would help him set up a vacation fund. That way he and his children could remember what normal life was like. As for Louis, she too will continue to battle the effects of molar pregnancy. According to what his mother wrote on the betting website, Louis is completely deaf, has minor brain damage and cerebral palsy in his left leg. Still, Crowley says it's all worth it for her son. "I wouldn't wish it on anyone, but if I had to choose between my son and myself, I would choose to go through it all again."